Your real consciousness is like the sky. These projections do not affect the sky. No matter how you have suffered, how much you have suffered, the reality in you is pure consciousness. Therefore, when you realize that pure consciousness shines forth, untarnished, when all the clouds and winds and storms move away, no scratch in the sky. And you know why it appeared that the sky is being scratched all over? That appearance is all illusion. So all the sufferings, all your experiences of pleasure and pain are like clouds. The reality in you is untarnished, untainted. Rāma. That's the sky.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropitavamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, who is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side. He is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Sri Ramcharitmanas, also known as the Ramayana. What does Ramayana mean? Rama Ayana. Ayana means the abode of Rama. In Balakanda, going towards Doha number 116, Rāma Saccidānanda Dinesa Nahitaha Moha Nisha Avalesha Sahaja Prakasha Rupa Bhagavana Nahitaha Punivijnana Vihana. Lord Shiva has commenced giving the Rama Leela, the story of Rama, to Parvati Devi. This whole setting we have gone into detail. And Lord Shiva says, Sri Rama is like the sun, Saccidānanda, Sat Chit Ānanda. Sat is pure existence. Chit is consciousness. Ānanda is bliss. That word Saccidānanda itself is a basis of profound vichar and chintan. When you see all objects around you, everything goes on changing. Let me give you a simple illustration which we have done before. Suppose you have a wonderful banyan tree in front of your house. And people come to proudly show, here is this banyan tree. Now time passes. A storm has broken the banyan tree. And are making the time pass fast. The banyan tree has turned into logs of wood. Now your description is Not banyan tree is there, logs of wood are there. Then they turn into furniture, tables and chairs. Now your mind goes, the existence of tables and chairs. What I'm giving you a mathematical way to understand. Existence is the common denominator. Behind the variables, banyan tree, logs of wood, furniture, and when termites take over them, then there's nothing but dust. The variables are all this. But there is one invariable behind these variables, Sat, pure existence. Existence in itself, that you cannot negate. And that existence is consciousness. If it cannot be known, it cannot be a content of consciousness, then how can you prove anything? The existence is not just a content of consciousness, pure consciousness. And putting it to another level, it's pure bliss, absolute Ānanda. Because if you analyze the process of happiness, I will not go into detail at this time. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. For the sake of self, all becomes dear. But then if you direct your attention to what that self is Saccidānanda. Ram, which is same as Brahman, same as Om, same as God, the Absolute. That Ram is Saccidānanda. Dinesha, like the sun, allegorical symbol, easy to understand. Countless illuminations come from the sun. Those illuminations are so interesting. People are always inspired. You take modern style shots of the rising sun, setting sun, rainbows, swans flying over the rainbows. And there's countless. Think of mind moving towards these countless things, ignoring the fact that all this has emanated from the sun. All that is needed, yes, allow your mind to go after all the countless things. But don't forget they are themselves variables, illusory. Sun is the reality. So when you see a shining cloud, drop dead. That's crude language. It's not an occasion for grief. That's putting your attention at a very high level. It's a mind-blowing state. But God has given you mind in order to blow it away. First stage of your mind, manoranjan. Allow the mind to be colored, but not with the dirty colors. Anjan type. Auspicious color. In other words, level of bhakti, devotion. Now you have a different way of looking at the world. If you go on developing that in every situation, in your relatives, in your friends, even in your enemies, because enemies are just sick people, have a little doctor type of consciousness. You don't hate them because they are sick. You develop compassion. So that brings about spiritual manoranjan. Mind becomes joyous. सब जगह हरियाली है. Every गली में हरी है. Okay, I will not go into details. Rāma Saccidānanda Dinesha. He is Dinesha, son. He is Saccidānanda. Nahi taha moha nisha avale lavalesha. Moha nisha, the darkness of delusion, does not exist in Rama. Now, what does it matter whether it exists or not? The thing is, moha nisha brings nishacharas. Nishacharas are demons. And they become very vigorous and vibrant in darkness. It's an allegorical which goes on keeping human mind very engrossed. Think of dark creatures, nishacharas, with strange heads, big teeth coming out, the Dracula type, horrible face, horrible personalities. I'm going into too much detail. Who are the nishacharas? Dambha, darp, abhiman, krodh, parushya, ajnan. We have gone over it. Dambha is a kind of conceited pride. Darp is another aspect of pride that is very rough. Abhiman is pride. Again, all these are different aspects of pride. Manasa, vacha, karmana, in 3 stages of pride. Krodh, anger. Parushya, expressing harshness in your conduct, especially in your speech. And ajnan, all ignorance. When ignorance is mentioned, all types of troubles. They all play in darkness. Think of simple illustration that is presented to you by Prakriti every day. Think of the night, dark night. If you have lost your way and find yourself in a forest and you have to spend the whole night, think of spending the dark night. Horror lurks in every direction, in every shadow. How many are there? If you are a great writer, put your computer, write a volume. But when the sun rises, all these demons, nishacharas, they run. And ultimately they are nowhere. Darkness is gone. So, bring Rāma Saccidānanda in your heart. Realize, I am Rama in the ultimate level. Remember always how Hanuman and Rama asked Hanuman, how am I related to you? Deha buddhyatu dasoham. To the extent I view myself as a body, I am a slave. You are the master. Allow the mind to work upon it. These are very advanced steps. Do not carry burden unnecessarily, burden of the world. Look into the news that goes on breaking and your head starts breaking. The problems of the world are not your problems. Don't let your mind become addicted to that type of bearing the load of grief unnecessarily. Te buddhyatu daso. Jiva buddhyat vadanshaka. Turn your attention, you are a soul. As a soul, you are the very ansha. Simple way to describe the sun, and every ray is the ansha of the sun. God is like the sun. The soul is a ray of the divine self. Now come to a state of more placidity, comfort within yourself, that you can grow in the image of God. And that's elaborated in the scriptures. And finally, Atma Buddhya Tavaiva, from the point of view of the innermost self, I and you are just the same, the Absolute. Every reflected sun is nothing but the sun. But that realization comes when you know the art of moving away from the nisha, darkness, and dealing with the nishataras in a profound way. Sahaja prakasha rupa bhagavana. God is like the shining sun. Nahi taha puni vijnana bihana. Now, it says, if you realize God, you don't have to wait for another morning. The fact is that ajnan or ignorance is not reality. So day by day, people have this idea the sun is still sleeping in his palace. Early in the morning, he rides his horses and comes in the sky. By the evening, he gets tired and goes back. All these are your illusions. The sun has no such. There is no morning, no setting, no night for the sun. The God, Brahman, is beyond time, space, causation. Beyond WWW. Who, where, why. When, where, why. Harasha vishad jnana ajnana, jiva dharma ahamiti avimana, Rama brahma vyapaka jagajana, paramananda paresha purana. Harsh, joy, shok, grief, jnana, knowledge. Here knowledge doesn't refer to the absolute knowledge, knowledge of so many things. Ajnan, ignorance. Ahamta, egoism. Abhiman, swollen ego, pride. These are dharmas of the jiva. The soul, conditioned by avidya, ignorance. If the soul is not led by satsanga and the process of integral yoga, then the soul continues to experience these joyous conditions, harsh, shok. Everything that gives you great joy is also sown the seed of great sorrow. Jnana, the knowledge that you develop in the world, intellectual knowledge. That knowledge is enveloped by ajnana, ignorance. As I have given you before also, the simile of a lamp or a flame, candle flame. In the dark night, place a candle flame and ask the flame, how much is darkness? Can you tell me? It will give you a very small description of the darkness. Increase the wattage of that light. Then what happens? If it is 100 times greater, it says the circle of darkness is immense. If it gets bigger, it says mind-blowing. Darkness is immense. So the predicament of knowledge and ignorance in the relative world is a big load of human mind. Instead of relieving the load, your load increases. Once upon a time, people didn't even know that the earth is round. Now they knew it. And they felt there was terrible progress. They didn't know there are millions of suns. And there are so many things. The human mind gets too involved. And when you begin to know those astronomical things, you think, oh, you know so much. But if you really open your mind to knowledge, you realize how much you don't know. So that's I'm just going through. Knowledge and ignorance. Every soul goes through various karmas, gaining knowledge as well as being pressured by ignorance. The goal behind all this, attain intuitional knowledge, the knowledge that is called vijnana, or it's called aparokshanubhuti, direct experience, that we will go on discussing later on. Purusha prasiddha prakasha nidhi pragata paravaranat raghukula mani mama swami soi kahi sivana yeumat. That Rama, the jewel in the line of Raghu, who is the Lord of Jiva, all souls, Maya, the power of illusion, all the worlds, the Brahman God is the reality, the Lord of all. Prakasha Nidhi, abode of light, light of lights. He is my Lord. Thus saying, Lord Shiva bowed his head. Later in Ramayana, you will see Rama doing the same thing. Shiva is all this. Rama bows his head. Later in the Ramayana, you will have episode of Rameshwaram. Rama created a temple, Rameshwara temple, and bowed his head to Shiva. Rameshwara, he is Ishvara of Rama. Lord Shiva from his heavenly level bowed his head on Rama. Parvati asked, "Oh Lord, what are you doing?" And Shiva said, "Rama is my Ishvara. Rama is my God. Rama says Shiva is my God. Shiva says Rama is my God." And the word Rameshwara points to both meanings. And then just to not to keep you in suspense, Rama and Shiva, the two aspects of the same divine self. Rama is more of bhakti movement, devotion. Shiva, jnana, tattva jnana, knowledge movement. Tattva jnana is described as kind of a destructive movement. Burn up everything. He like vibhuti. Burn your asmi and be in shan. Shan is pride. When asmi gets burnt up, asmi, the ego awareness. And when it gets burnt up by enlightenment, you are in divine smashan, cremation. So Shiva's role, if you are not practicing integral yoga in a balanced way, human mind becomes captivated by, let me follow jnana. Why to go through all that? Or, let me follow bhakti. Why to follow jnana? This has been the cause of terrible consequences in society. Ramayana highlights the point that you cannot be devotee of Rama without pleasing Shiva. And on Shiva's side, you cannot be Shiva's devotee without pleasing Rama. Now move on to the further. निज भ्रम नहीं समुझहि अज्ञानी, प्रभु पर मोह धरहि जड़ पानी. Ajnani, in ajnana level, human beings are not aware of Brahma, delusion. They are satisfied. Just like people who are drunk, they become so intoxicated, they can roll in a mud and they think they are enjoying. It's a very gross illustration. But that's the predicament of souls. Everyone wants to, this instinct is there, wants to have a stability, wants to come closer to truth, realize the truth. But the mind does not allow them to understand what is the truth. Now let me reiterate these points. Brahma is also known as Bhranti. And you have three types of delusion. Satyatva Bhranti, Ishtatva Bhranti, Samichinatva Bhranti. Satyatva Bhranti, the illusion that objects are real. That illusion is what impresses your mind. Ishtatva Bhranti, the illusion that you have. When we say objects, it relates to all your near and dear ones, all your relations, all you are depending upon by body, mind, intellect, all these are not the way you are experiencing them. You look to the sky, it looks so blue. But for whom? For human eyes, not for telescopic eyes. The world is real depending upon your karmas, according to your vasanas. Certain vasanas in you find delight in certain things, which another family, another person doesn't like at all. So keeping that in view to understand these points. Satyatva Bhranti, this is very real. That's not so. Don't forget, you will come into the world for a very short period of time. Don't be driven by this glow of practical reality, which is not the real. It's all these passing phenomena. And all this that you experience is based upon your senses. To believe that the senses are gaining practical, or rather real experience, that itself is a sense of that situation. But I will not go further in that. So, Satyatva Bhranti, Samichinatva Bhranti. Samichinatva means closeness. The moment that Bhranti enters, you want to bring the object, person, whomsoever, close to yourself and tie up by the threads of moha. You go after doing all that, and then suddenly come to realize that you have grabbed something terrible. I'm making a bigger exaggeration, but the point is that you really do not bring the things you love close to yourself by any physical means. You can bring it by your spiritual advancement, changing your thinking pattern, feeling, Godward mind. That will go on breaking these bhrantis, illusions. The third illusion is called Ishtatva Bhranti. Ishtatva, this is my objective. This, if I get this, I'm going to be absolutely happy. There is no Ishta in the world. Therefore, turn your mind to Ishtadevata. निज भ्रम नहीं समझहि अज्ञानी. Ajnani mind, mind that's sinking in ignorance, doesn't bring these thoughts that the world is not real. That no matter how much you may gain according to your concepts, you are not going to be restful. And whole history is before you. All great people, how many things they gained and how much work they did and their purusharthas. And where are they? Prabhu par moha dharahi jada prani. This requires some more understanding. All these, all people that turn to God, developing this notion that God is the cause of your troubles as well as your prosperities. विधि का विधान है. Brahma, he has nothing else to do. He goes on creating his vidhan. Every soul has been put into a process. Everything is written down by in Brahma's book. And everything must follow according to Brahma's dictation. And that is not so. And even people begin to question, why did God create the world? The scriptures give it allegorically. God was alone. He wished to develop duality. In that type of statement, again, I'm trying to lead you more. What is being pointed out, that the source of this entire universe is not something inert, but source is awareness, consciousness. Because the willing process will not exist without consciousness. But just like the sun brings about all illuminations, your mind not having a complete picture of the sun creates its own causation. These illuminations, they have been created by the sun. They live at the mercy of the sun. Oh, wonderful sun, allow that cloud to stay dazzling. That would be cruel. And no matter how you say it, and it goes away. And God is very cruel. This is illustration of moha-grast mind. But while I'm illustrating all this, making light of it, it is not really so. It's life's great challenge. As long as you live, you go on working against moha. It's not that you understood it and from tomorrow you shake off moha. यथा गगन घट पटल निहारी जहाँ पे भानु कहें कुविचारी. A simple illustration is given. One looks at the sky and says, sun has been shut out by the cloud. The sun was there, but cloud shut it out. We're giving so much credit to the cloud. This type of statement, kuvichari, you are not doing vichar, the wrong way of thinking. It is your eyes that have been shut by the cloud, not the sun. Figure that out. चितौ जो लोचन अंगुली लाएं प्रगट जुगल शशिते तेहि के भाएं. If you were to press one of your finger on the eye here, on the top of your eye, and look around, things will become doubled up. And when you see all this doubled up, and you start crying and saying, oh God, why did you make a mess of this world? Remember, you are doing it. Remove that finger from your eyes. Simple illustration and very humorous. implying, if you want to understand more about it, that finger pressing on the eye. Eye is a vision, real healthy vision that sees God everywhere. The finger that presses on it has 3 knots: avidya, kama, karma. Karmic bondage caused by malas, gross impurities. Kama, referring to ashubha vasanas, impurities, impure vasanas, subtle desires. And finally, the veil of ignorance. These, in different degrees and proportions, they are crunching your vision. And accordingly, therefore, you are seeing the world in countless ways. How did you see the world in your previous birth? You have no imagination. And previous birth is just only a little thing. There are countless births. How did you see the world when you were 5-year-old? How did you see the world when you were 10-year-old? How you are seeing it now? How will you see it later? All that, you have to figure that out. But all that you see is going to be distorted, not the reality. So remove the finger from your eyes. Another very simple moral from this: stop finger pointing. You point, somebody mistake, 3 fingers point to you. That's what God has tricked you. Uma Ram Vishayika Asamoha Nabhatabam Dhuma Dhuri Jimisoha. O Parvati, moha in relation to Rama is just like darkness, smoke, dust in relation to the cloud. We look up to the sky and say, sky is full of dust, dusty cloud veiled it. Or the sky is filled with smoke. But Akasha, the sky, is absolutely untouched. But every time you look up to the sky, you are describing it. Your descriptions are coming from your mind. The sky remains untouched. We have to go on to deeper level of understanding. All your concepts that give you a lot of trouble, sorrow, misery, and all that, yoga, chitta vritti, nirodha, they are all chitta vrittis, projections created by your mind. Your real consciousness is like the sky. These projections do not affect the sky. No matter how you have suffered, how much you have suffered, the reality in you is pure consciousness. Therefore, when you realize that pure consciousness shines forth, untarnished, when all the clouds and winds and storms move away, no scratch in the sky. And you know why it appeared that the sky is being scratched all over? That appearance is all illusion. So all the sufferings, all your experiences of pleasure and pain are like clouds.
The reality in you is untarnished, untainted. Rama. That's the sky. Ram, Ram. So when you say Ram, all this idea and feelings must buzz. Otherwise, Ram, Ram. Both types are good. No matter which way you take the divine name. विषय करण सुर जीव समेता सकल एक ते एक सचेता सब कर परम प्रकाशक जोई राम अनादि अवधपति सोई. Objects of the senses, the deities of the senses, Jivatma, the individual soul, they are all interdependent and illumined by the divine self. That God who illumines them all, He is Ramachandra, who is being portrayed here in the storyline as the king of Ayodhya. You must realize the story of Rama is profoundly mystical. Even the name Ayodhya. Ayodhya means you are involved in a battle. Let me give you further analysis. Yodhya term comes from Yuddha. Yuddha, analyzed, Yuddha. Be united with Dharma. You cannot live. Your life flows on with ups and downs because its intrinsic purpose is to be united with Dharma. So therefore the statement is so luchando, always battling. Jivan Sangram. And where this battle terminates, Ayodhya. Ayodhya is allegorical name for the absolute liberation. Paramdham, supreme abode, where all fights, all sadhanas, efforts terminate. Another point that has been introduced in the scriptures, Tulsidasi touches those points. The senses, the deities of the senses. Let me give you an illustration. Sun, shining sun, is adhibhuta, is physical object. Your eyes are adhyatmika, subjective. And the deity who connects the shining sun to your eyes is sun god, is Adhidevik. Adhibhautik, Adhyatmik, Adhidevik, Adhibhautik. And turning your attention in that direction, you view your whole body, every part of your body, all the karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, having their deity. I will just mention some of these that the scriptures say. The eyes are presided by sun god. Nostrils by Ashwini Kumaras. They are the greatest physicians. In old time medical
Doctors, they use their nostrils. Modern time, they do that by their machines. That's the modern nostrils. Dik Devata, gods presiding over directions. They are represented by your ears. Tongue is presided by Varuna Devata, god of waters. Skin by Vayu Devata, the deity of wind. Hands by Indra. Feet by Vishnu. Speech by Devi Saraswati. Intellect by Brahma, the creator. Ahamkara, ego within you, by Rudra, an aspect of Shiva. Mind by Chandrama, moon god. And Chitta by Shiva Shakti, called Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. Deho Devalaya Prokto, Jivo Deva Sanatana. The body is considered a Devalaya, a whole temple. Where can you go? All the gods are with you. And Jiva is the very representative of God himself. When you grow in this level, it's called practice of nyasa. In every puja, an orthodox method, this mind is reminded of the gods abiding in your own body. Mantras are recited by touching different parts of the body. We don't have to go into it. That's all allegorical. But when you do sannyasa, come to another level, that all these gods are nothing but the God. So you're not interested in holding on to your eyes, to your ears, your mind, your brain. Now you have turned your attention to sannyasa. But apart from all these information, the idea is allow your mind to understand and allow every stage to be utilized. The stage of worshipping God as many gods. The stage of worshipping many gods as the God. The stage of worshipping the God not with form, but only with attributes. The stage of worshipping not even the attributes. Nirgud Nirakar. These are all different steps. Until full discovery, I am Brahman. But when you are discovering all this, nothing is taken away from you. When you become involved in your office, in just typing, you must realize that you have taken care of the feet, taken care of many things, and then you have moved away with your attention from all those things, and now your attention is in a different level. I'm giving a crude illustration. And at this stage, this is the style now, I'm moving very slowly. Big story of Ramayana is big. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.